Hello, my name's Tom Walker. Welcome to Blues Go Green, which is the first in a series of podcasts I'm producing for the Birmingham City Football Club Foundation. The Blues Go Green project was launched in February of this year and is part of the Foundation's commitment to environmental sustainability. Working in partnership with the National Lottery Community Fund and other key partners, the aim is to improve our neighbourhood. In this series of podcasts, I'm going to be talking to people who are working on the Blues Go Green initiative about how disabled people can support the project, and to disabled fans themselves about their experience of supporting Birmingham City. The first podcast begins with me and the Blues Go Green project manager Lucy Bird in a part of the stadium most people don't get to see. This is it. This is the dressing room area, and there are kits hanging up here as well as shirts there and whatever else, so they're getting ready for the next home game. This is quite a fascinating area, isn't it, Lucy?
It sure is. Not very open to many people.
So we just go through here, and of course, and this is the treatment area, so there are quite a few massage beds and whatever else, so any injured players at half time or the end of the game come in here, and the medics can work their wonders on them.
They sure can.
So tell me about the foundation before we talk about anything else.
Okay, so the foundation is the charity arm of the club, so we sit separately to them. However, we are located at the stadium itself at St Andrews, Knighthead.
And what kind of work does the foundation do?
They're out in communities, and our slogan is it's more than just football. So what that means is we're doing everything. We've got a food pantry, there's coaching that goes on in communities, we're in schools, there's mentoring programmes, after school programmes, PE lessons, you name it. If it's got a slogan on it, we kind of connect and do work with them as well. So
why is it important for football clubs to get involved in initiatives like that?
It's get to know your community. We're nothing without our fans, and we're nothing without our communities, and it's important to know and understand what they are, what they're about, and how we can support them, because a lot of the communities that we're working in, we're impacting on them just as much as they're impacting on us.
And what feedback do you get from fans when they find out about you?
We get some really good feedback. We get some of the kids that are in schools. Their lives have been changed. There was one lad who was with us last week, and he's been on the Pan Disability team for I think 7 years. And he came and did some commentary for one of the matches last week. And he's 14 years old, and he did credit to the club. The facts, the figures were incredible. He's got autism, and his knowledge was insane. And we were really proud to kind of host him for the day.
48 hours ago, Birmingham City played Sheffield United, and you were here with a group of young people. Just tell me about that. What was happening then?
So we're working on the Blues Go Green initiative project in partnership with Dream Chasers, who are a Somalian youth organisation that are literally just down the road, down the Cov Road. And we brought 15 young people to do a litter pick at a park called Sarah Park. We did the litter pick. We collected 16 bags of rubbish. 15 young people attended, and then we had a bit of a kick around at the park itself. And that was to kind of go, we need to look after these green spaces, because the kids who live around here and the communities that live around here, without them being looked after, unfortunately, they won't be able to play football, or they won't be able to access and have kind of their meeting places, which are so important. And then from there, we walked them down, we watched the match itself. It was 1-1, but it was a good atmosphere. Some of them kids have never been to a football match before, even though they live so local to here. So it was brilliant. It left me buzzing for the day.
You very helpfully there mentioned Blues Go Green, which is your area of work. Just give me a wider perspective on what that initiative does.
So we've been lucky enough to get some lottery funding for the climate action change, and it's a 4 years project, and it's working alongside the club to reduce their carbon footprint by 1/3. It's working with 40 grassroots organisations to help with them to put plans in place for them. It's working in schools alongside some programmes and the youth group that we run over at the community hub, about making greener habits and making decisions and kind of reaching out to people in them communities who might not necessarily have known known what they can do to contribute to that.
Why is it important for a football club to be concerned about the environment? Because at the end of the day, most people would think, well, all football clubs want to do is win matches.
Absolutely, but if you're not looking after your city, then we're not looking after the people who live there as well. And people might necessarily know what their choices look like, and we can support them on that journey, big or small as it is.
And when you talk to fans about the environment and the work you're doing, what do they say?
Some of the fans feel disconnected to them conversations, and therefore we need to bring them into that, to know that it is their conversation to be part of, and they should be leading that, and the changes that need to be made need to come from them, and we just support that as a vehicle to make things happen.
You're part of the foundation, and that's obviously independent from the football club in many ways, but do you find when you speak to the club itself that they're really concerned about the environment and want to support what you're doing?
They definitely do. Some changes have been made in regards to, we now sell venison, as well as, instead of replaced it with beef, there's been some changes in regards to the pies. So where there is steak and potato, not just steak, to kind of reduce some of the footfall from there. And we're working on a programme alongside the club to kind of make some bigger adjustments as well, with the Blues Go match fixture heading in for September, where we can make some bigger changes.
One of the areas of your responsibility is disabled fans, and I know they're very keen to get involved in the Blues Go Green initiative. Just tell me how that's working.
We want to reach more disabled people in our community, and we need to work closer to the Disabled Official Supporters Group. We need to find out what fans are here and what issues they face, and how we can support them through them conversations as well. So it's a shout out really to say, if you're a fan, if you're living in the community, if you are disabled and you've got some ideas and you want to join on this, we would be more than welcome to kind of work alongside you.
How do disabled people get involved? What's the best way?
Please reach out to us on our socials, and we'll respond back, and we'll be happy to talk.
There are quite a number of Birmingham City fans who have disabilities. What issues do they have that could impact actually on the environment negatively?
How they get into our matches, what they're eating when they're here, providing us with information in regards to what their struggles are and how we can support them.
Because disabled fans, from what I know and have spoken to a few already, they're quite interested in the environment and want to reduce their impact.
Absolutely, and we'd love to hear from them.
Lucy, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Tom.
I'm just walking in front now of the Gil Merrick stand. Gil Merrick is a very famous former Blues goalkeeper. I'm sure anybody listening to this podcast will know that. And then to my left is the pitch, and we're standing directly behind the goal. And if I just reach forward, I'm probably not supposed to do this, I can actually feel the netting there. But it's not fully up there yet, but there it is. So we're just walking along. Inevitably, on a football ground during a non-match day, there's quite a lot of work taking place, and the pitch has also got the sort of heaters on, hasn't it, Lucy?
It has. We've got the best groundsmen in the UK who work here.
How does the pitch look at the moment? It's looking quite green to me as a visually impaired person.
Absolutely.
Looking very green.
Better than my garden, for sure.
But those lasers just are amazing, aren't they? Because they help the grass to grow even during the winter, I think. Is that the idea?
They do. And we were... There was some footage over social media not so long ago about the purple lights and how they landed all over Birmingham in the snow, because it reflected off the snow and the whole of Birmingham could see purple. It was quite beautiful.
I'm in one of the private boxes here at St Andrews, and with me is Paul Hunt, who's the Disability Programmes Coordinator for the Birmingham City Football Club Foundation. The pitch is behind us, Paul. It's looking very good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's looking not too bad. Ready for our next game.
There's lots of work being done on it. The ground staff are being kept very busy.
After the weekend, they're getting prepared for the next game against Blackburn.
Tell me about your role as a Disability Programmes Coordinator for the Foundation. What does that involve?
Okay, so my role is to oversee the disability football and different disability sport programmes. So we have a pan-disability football team, and pan means it's Panameric, which means all different disabilities play in the same team that can play the running game.
And how does that work from your point of view? What would your involvement be? Do you go and recruit the players?
So mine is to oversee that programme, so all from the administration side of it. I coach the adults team and support the other coaches on the junior section of our programme.
How important to the foundation is this kind of work, ensuring that disabled fans are fully included?
Oh, it's absolutely crucial. Giving the foundation are giving lots of opportunities for people with disabilities, and that's the way it should be.
And what about the football club more generally? How well looked after are you as a fan? Because I know you're a big Blues fan as well, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I've been a Blues fan all my life. Came down here when I was just turned 5 with my dad. I'm now 47, so
Do the maths.
Do the maths. That's it. It's changed, over the years in terms of accessibility. Where you sit, that's got a hell of a lot better. But there is other things that could be better, I believe, to make that match day experience, high.
You're a wheelchair user. How has access changed? Has accessibility improved generally, not just here, but more generally in football?
It's improved immensely. As I don't go away that much, so I haven't really saw a lot of away stadiums and their accessibility over the last 10 years. When I was younger, I did go to a lot of away games, and back when I was younger, the accessibility it wasn't there. Accessible toilets, reaching for refreshments, things like that. A lot of queues, which doesn't affect me, but it would affect other disabilities.
So here at St Andrews, what arrangements are in place for wheelchair users like you?
So I sit in the Tilton, and we've got a wheelchair platform, and there's around about 12 wheelchair users can fit into that sort of section of the on the platform, and then you have a carer seat with that, and the view is fantastic. I used to sit just behind where we are now in the Cop, but I wanted to move because we had fans standing up in front of me. I couldn't see the game. I asked politely to sit down. They wouldn't sit down. So that's why I moved to the Tilton, and I really like it there. You've
got a good view there.
Absolutely, it's a brilliant view. I'm 2 from the end, so it's. I've only got my mate next to me that's in a way.
And in terms of facilities within the ground more generally, things like accessible toilets, are they available as well?
Yeah, there's accessible toilets, so there's 3 in the Tilton, and there's 2 down in the Cop, and then there's 2 in the Gilmerick stand. So all accessible toilets is fine. Just love to see possibly like the refreshments areas. They're quite the counters are quite high. So for somebody with a small stature like myself in a wheelchair, it does get a bit difficult when you go up to the counter to order things and trying to hear what they're saying with everybody, all the fans in the background. So something that I would like to work with a club and try and come up with a solution basically.
Obviously in 2031 the club is moving to a new ground. I guess that's one of many issues that you want to be feeding into.
Yes, I'd like to be in some of the consultations of that, and not just for myself but other people with disabilities, to be in that consultation as well, to make sure that we get it right.
Now, one of the initiatives that the foundation is working on at the moment is Blues Go Green, which is an environmental initiative. How important is that to you as an individual and to you as a disabled person to try and reduce your own carbon footprint?
Sometimes I do travel to the game on public transport, which has got a lot easier over the years. But again, I think it's still got a bit of way to go in terms of the trains. We've got an app which is good, that we can book our journey on. which gives us assistance at the station. We need to get a ramp out, but there has been occasions where I've used the app, but they haven't turned up.
I suppose for perfectly understandable reasons that we as disabled people tend to find the easiest way to get to a football match. So that might be in a car. Is that something you'd like to change personally for yourself?
I would rather come to the game on public transport, because obviously we've got a van that's got a tail lift, and when you're parking, you're hoping that nobody parks behind you because you can't get out or get back into your car. So I would like to travel by public transport to the game, every game really. But I find that obviously the buses are, when you get to the train, when you get out of the train station onto a bus, they're very, very crowded, and that causes a lot of problems really for myself.
I guess we're all very conscious these days of climate change and environmental issues, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Do you think it's right that the foundation is now beginning to focus on this as a big issue?
Oh, absolutely. It's a big thing everywhere, and we've got to reduce the carbon footprint, and the foundation are going in the right direction to do that.
I'm standing outside the front of the St Andrews football ground, and I'm standing by a statue of a club legend, Trevor Francis, 1954 to 2023. He was the first £1 million footballer to be sold to Nottingham Forest from Birmingham. I think it was in 1978. With me is someone who isn't quite worth £1 million, but to me she's worth a lot more. She is Zoe Partington. Zoe, Blues Go Green, explain your role in this for me.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, hi Tom. Well, my role in this is to make sure, is to bridge, I think, on the Blues Go Green project, disabled people and climate issues. So about linking those two together to make sure that disabled people's voices are heard and they know about sustainability, environmental concerns. What is it that we can do together and make sure disabled people are at the heart of the whole conversation, discussion and decision making?
How are you going about forging that link?
I think one of the things has been to find out and to work with Paul and to work with Lucy and Erin, all the people on the team for the Blues Goes Green, to think about connecting with disabled supporters, disabled people that work here, disabled volunteers. So all of those people can be involved in things like the litter picking, the decisions around what sort of workshops would be fantastic to run with people in the club and the foundation, and how we really get disabled people's voices into the room and acknowledged, and those people to be informed, to feel like they're part of this whole development.
You work closely with disabled people. Are they interested in these environmental issues?
I think disabled people really are interested in environmental issues. I just think, where do you find out about it? How accessible is the information about, environmental issues, climate change, climate justice? Are we getting all these things in British Sign Language? Are we getting all these things in audio described when we're going to look at, the design of a club, design of a new space, the design of our streets, the design of our transport systems? How can disabled people ensure that they can use the transport systems, they're fully accessible, so they can have the power to make decisions about, travelling in a more sustainable way? I think we're not really at that stage yet. I think there's a lot of things that need to happen to make that happen.
Is it in some ways almost mutually incompatible, mutually exclusive for disability and the environment to work well together? Because for so many reasons, disabled people might need to do things which aren't always environmentally sustainable. For instance, not using public transport.
I think that is the absolute key to it, isn't it? Because if a disabled person can be making decisions about green issues, and that the transport is fully accessible, getting to the ground is fully accessible, parking is accessible, all those things are really important for disabled people. So things like, if you need more money to be able to afford green choices and you're a disabled person that might not work full time, you're immediately excluded from making those choices, to save the planet, to introduce new ways of working. So these things, they're connected, they're really connected. And very simplistically, you can think about the types of products, maybe the cleaning products that your organisation is using. Some of those products are for people with breathing difficulties, can be really quite serious, and exclude them from those environments. So I think we don't, we only think about one or two things. We need to think about the overall umbrella, plant the seeds to get people to make, more informed decisions about how to move all these issues forward.
So here we are outside Birmingham City's football ground. The foundation is really getting involved now with this Blues Goes Green initiative. How important is that for the club then, and to what extent are they committed now to involving disabled people in all of this?
I think the foundation is involving disabled people, all the time in different workshops, different community type initiatives. The club is as well, but I think it's about disabled people having a bigger voice within all of this. So things like, the designs of a new stadium, how are disabled people's voices within the community being embedded into that? I think those are the sorts of things that would be really fantastic to know more about. And I think if we're not here asking those questions, those voices aren't necessarily at the centre, are they? And I think this is what's important. We need to have these discussions. Disabled people need to be visible and present, and they need to be represented in all of these things.
And consultation is the key in all of this.
I think consultation is, but it's also about the staff that work here, the people that you choose to develop these initiatives. If disabled people are on those teams, those things will naturally happen and those questions will naturally come up. So all the time it's about making sure we know if disabled people are architects and designers, or disabled people are designing transport systems, or if disabled people are buying the products for the shop, that all of those things are being thought about from the very beginning. If we're not there and visible and present, those things sometimes get forgotten about.
Okay, that's your lot for this time. So it just remains for me to say thanks very much to Zoe, Paul and Lucy for taking part in this podcast. Keep an eye out for the next podcast in this series of Blues Go Green. And just before we go, a quick note on the music you would have heard at the start of this podcast. It's a track called Pride by Johnny Crescendo, aka Alan Holdsworth. It talks about his pride in being a disabled person. Well, we're going to play that track in full now. This is Pride by Johnny Crescendo.
Something in your soul. Pride is somewhere you are in control. Pride is the peace within that finally makes you whole. Celebrate your difference with pride.
Pride in yourself is bound to set you free. Pride in who you are, a person just like me. Pride and self-respect and gentle dignity. No one can take away your pride.
Pride can make you angry. Pride can make you strong. Pride's the key that unlocks the door to rooms where we belong. Pride is our destiny and where we all came from. Turn around and embrace your pride. Your liberty. Pride can give freedom to there's no like me. Pride is always with you, wherever you may be. Once won, you'll never lose your pride.
Pride is a rocky road, it's straight and doesn't bend. Pride's a path you follow, pride's your closest friend. Pride's a source inside your heart from which you can draw strength. Begin on your journey, use your pride.
Pride's the road between us, pride's the bridge we burn. Pride's the victory, the battle from which we will return. Pride's the spark, the fire within, the crucible, the churn.